Pat, I know throughout the first 12 games you mixed and matched and tried to find offensive lineup, defensive lineup, best guys that play together. How good is this team, and how good do you think it can be at this 12-game mark?
Well, I think we have the guys and the talent to be really good, to be honest with you. But we haven't beat anybody, on our schedule that's going to help us in terms of trying to get an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament. And you win a lot of home games, but you have to be able to go on the road. You have to be able to go to the neutral site and win some games. This West Virginia games is a huge game for us. Here, and we've mixed and matched. A lot of people put too much stock, in who you start or whatever. But you're trying. You're trying from a rotation standpoint to do some things, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is your quality of play, and we're just inconsistent right now. And we're inconsistent within a game. We're inconsistent in halves at Orlando, and we have to find some consistency. In my opinion, you're only as good as your guards. And if you watch an NCAA tournament game, you watch championship basketball, sure, you got to have guys across the board at every position that are good players, but you have to start with your decision making. Our decision making right now is not very good. Even though we only have 10 turnovers, I thought we had some shots that were bad shots that are just light turnovers. We did a better job moving the ball. We did a better job of being unselfish, but it's still it's too sloppy, and we have to get good guard play if we expect to beat good people.
Matt, you said a couple times this year there's a reason people zone us. You saw a couple of those looks again tonight, and
right.
Can you assess, just on first glance, if you thought things were better tonight as far as both getting the ball inside, even despite that, and then also hitting those outside shots?
Yeah, I thought we took less and made more. I think that's important for this group to do. I think it's important for a lot of teams that we've had here at Purdue, even when we've had more guys that can shoot. But getting the ball inside against the zone is difficult. They're doing it for a purpose, and they're really packing it in. So we have to do a better job of getting the ball in the high post and making a decision. We got the ball there a couple times tonight, and we dribbled it right away when we really needed to look opposite and be able to play. I thought Kendall Stevens had 2 or 3 looks that he probably should have tried to knock down, and he didn't. He's trying to listen to us and be unselfish and move the ball a little bit more. But against the zone, you got to have some guys in there that can open some things up. And whether it's zone or man, it really just comes down to me with decision making. I thought we had it in the Butler game for stretches. Then the other stretches, it was poor, especially the one where we turned it over 3 times in a row late in the game. It just kills us, and that's the reason I called timeout today in that one stretch, is because Ronnie turns the ball over twice, and then we come down right away, and Bryson's attacking after one dribble. You have to understand how important that third possession is after you've had a couple mistakes. It's very important to get a quality shot at that time. I call timeout, and then we shoot an air ball. And so I call timeout and just say, hey, I just let them know how important this is, and we shoot an air ball in that possession. So we have to be a more mature basketball team and a more cerebral team and understand those situations, or it will continue to happen.
Coach, a couple of things interesting that you just mentioned, and we kind of put maybe a little bit too much into who's in the starting lineup. I have a couple of questions about the lineup.
Right.
Firstly, Bryson Scott, what got him into the starting lineup,
Yeah.
and then what will AJ have to do to get back?
Well, I don't know if AJ's is a little bit different. AJ has to first of all be in legal guardian position. That's your story. When you go back and you watch tape as a coach, sometimes it's tough to see things on the fly. He's fouling. I wouldn't say every one of his fouls are good calls, but majority of them are good calls. He's got to get in the legal guardian position. Sometimes when he starts a game, he gets those quick, early, cheap fouls. Referees like to set the tone of a game. What's going to be called the post, what's going to be called the perimeter, and they set the tone. And sometimes those are cheap, they get it out there. Why that is, I don't know, but it happens. So staying away from that. A couple games he wasn't ready to play at the start of the game, so we went with Jay. And so to me, that's not. It's more of getting him in legal guardian position. If he can play in the game without fouling, it's really going to help us. I'd like to play games against quality people when he's getting 25 to 30 minutes a game. We just mix it up. I think Bryson Scott, he brings energy. He competes. As a freshman, there's a downside to things because they don't have a high level of experience in terms of defending certain things or understanding what you want. It's just too many things thrown at him. But he always continues to play hard, and he always continues to practice hard, and we need his energy. Doesn't mean I'll start in the next game, but I'm searching just like you would be searching if you're in my position.
Coach, a double-digit player score tonight. Looking ahead, obviously tonight's opponent wasn't, the toughest, as you have tougher games coming up, but how do you look at that, just the distribution of scoring as you move on to?
Well, we had, the
teams?
minutes were distributed, pretty evenly. Tyrone and Ronnie still play the most minutes, and Basil's next. Everybody else is under 20. So you're just trying to get as many guys out there and get as much experience as you can. And it's kind of when they go to a zone, sometimes I don't have a great zone lineup in there. I started, both of our point guards, and then in the first half, Sterling's actually playing the point. He hasn't played point at all for us this year, so it messes some things up. But I'm just trying to, throw some things against the wall, and hopefully it sticks a little bit in terms of certain guys playing. I think those three guys can break people down. They can put a stress, on the defense. They decided to go more zone, so it's a little bit different. But the balance is good. I'm not, a lot of young players and parents, they're into scoring. I'm into winning. I just want to get a group of guys that will defend and rebound and share the basketball so we can win again.
Matt, in that sense, did the games like Peck and Carter had tonight, where maybe they play more like maybe you wanted them to than in their minds they think they should, if that makes sense? I mean, was this maybe a game for those guys in particular that they were able to maybe gain some confidence or gain some trust?
Well, this is Sterling's fourth game in a row that he's knocked down at least 1 3 for us. So his ability to make some shots for us. Then he gets 3 assists and only 1 turnover, and that's great. Eric was playing a lot more to start the season. Basil Smotherman just has brought so much energy, and he's a guy that's passed up on some shots and moved the ball and shot a high percentage, but he's brought us that energy. And I thought Eric brought us that energy tonight. If we can get them both like that, if Eric can play like that tonight and Basil can continue to play the way he has, I think we got a pretty solid group at that 4, right there. So it was good to see Eric and Sterling play well.